Hello there, and welcome to another video by 4 quarters and 2 halves. It's been a long time since we uploaded on this channel, and you can see a lot of things has changed since then. We are in a different room. We do not have a co-host because of low budget. But despite these budget constraints and despite these changes in setting, I just wanted to continue talking about basketball and football because I love to do that. And a lot of things have happened in the world of basketball and football since the last time we uploaded the video. And the video that we uploaded, which was around 7 to 8 months ago, maybe even longer, was a World Cup preview back right before the World Cup. And yeah, we were talking about the World Cup. And yeah, since then, the World Cup finals already happened, like in December. And it was the best World Cup final that I've seen. People might disagree with that, but I think that was the best World Cup final for me at least, it was the best World Cup final. And we finally got to see the GOAT lift the World Cup trophy. It was a very emotional moment for his fans around the world, including myself. It was very historic. It was a historic moment in sports, and for Messi himself, obviously. LeBron James surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the leading all-time scorer in the NBA, which is a record that I don't see being broken anytime soon. Like, I don't think it will be broken in the next decade or even in the next 2 decades, because it just shows LeBron's longevity as a great player. He's the best player to have played at least for this long, like the amount of time he's played for. He is the greatest player because of that, for me at least. He did say he's not gonna cry, but like before he broke the record, I think 2 or 3 months before that, so a fan had asked him he's not gonna cry, but he cried like a baby. Obviously, it was an emotional moment for him and his family, and yeah, that was a historic moment as well in the basketball world. If we talk about historic moments that have happened this season, and if we don't talk about Erling Haaland's historic striking, like a historic goal scoring season, it will be criminal. It will be criminal. No one probably would have expected him to score nearly 40 goals, break all the records that there were for a striker to break in the Premier League and in the Champions League. Score the most obscene goals that I've ever seen. He was fantastic. He was the striker that I did call him the best striker that was out there in the transfer market last year. So that part of my prediction was right. But I couldn't have predicted how good he was, how good he's going to be. And whenever like, he was the fantasy Premier League asset of the year as well. Like, if you didn't have him, it was like you're shooting your own foot. Like, it was impossible to play the game without having Erling Haaland as an asset in the game. So yeah, he was fantastic, and his success led to Manchester City's success at the back end of the season, and they lifted 3 trophies. They are the treble winners of 2023, and they have that now edge over Manchester United fans, and Manchester United fans can't claim that they're the only treble winners in England, um, because Man City has done it now. And yeah, kind of glad that I don't have my co-host Sunil right now, because he would be bragging about that as well. Yeah, and we don't want to talk too much about the treble winning, unless it was Chelsea, then I would be talking a lot about that. Yeah, NBA Finals also happened. Since then, we saw Nikola Jokic, the best player on the planet, in my opinion, finally get a ring and kind of cement himself as one of the best centers in the league, uh, if not of all time. He's the best center in the league, but one of the best centers of all time. So that also did, like, it was a historic playoffs run from him as well. So yeah, a lot of things that happened since our last video. The end of the season is already, like, it's been a month and a half since the season's ended for both the sports, and yeah, a lot of player movements have happened, and it's been a very interesting time the last couple of months of the summer. It usually is, but I just wanted to talk about, as you can probably tell from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about the football world more. And yeah, I wanted to talk about some winners and losers that I think we should be talking about, and I think I have some opinions about them. And I wanted to just talk about it. It's been an interesting time in the football world. And yeah, there are a couple of winners and losers in my opinion. This can definitely change by the end of the transfer window. Specifically with the losers, can come out and just guns blazing in the transfer window and then just prove me wrong, obviously. But it's just fun to do these kind of lists, for myself, and yeah, I just want to talk about it. Yeah, just a note that I'm probably not going to be just talking about players and teams. Actually, there's only one thing, one non-player like our team that I'm talking about here, and that is the Saudi Pro League. That is my winner for the transfer window. And there are a couple of reasons why. So yeah, like let me dive into why I think the Saudi Pro League is a winner of the transfer window. So like a couple of months ago, I think I was talking to my friends, and we were talking about how Saudi's trying to bid for the 2030 World Cup, and they're trying to get Messi as the ambassador. And that was before Ronaldo had even joined the Pro League, and then Ronaldo ended up going to the Pro League, and then we start thinking, okay, what are they doing? What are the plans for Saudi? And we see their plans clearly laid out now in this transfer window. They get Benzema straight away as soon as the transfer window hits. They get Conte, they get Koulibaly, they get ZX right foot, they get half of Chelsea's squad, Ruben Neves, Marcelo Brozovic. They also got Steven Gerrard, which was really funny. And if you haven't seen the video of Steven Gerrard speaking Arabic in the Scouse accent, it's so funny. And I probably butchered the way you say Scouse. That's fine. He butchered Arabic. That's what he did. Yeah, it's been a win for the Pro League because they have brought in these players that are big names, marquee players, marquee European players who were playing in the Champions League a couple of months ago, and they've made more viewers for themselves. And obviously, if they are going as a 2030 bid, if they're bidding for the World Cup, they're trying to show themselves up a footballing nation, trying to show that they have a footballing infrastructure, they have a very competitive league to the world. And one of the reasons why they are bringing these players. And now, for me, that begs a question for European leagues: is that how are they going to retain their marquee players who are past their primes, who've probably achieved everything they could achieve in Europe? How are they gonna retain them if if leagues in outside Europe is getting them more money? Um, and yeah, that's one of the questions that I think European leagues have to start answering, because I think this could be the start of football starting to spread around the world and being viewed around the world in other leagues, because we always have known that Europe has dominated the viewership, has monopolized football in a way. And yeah, this could be it could be a shift in power a bit. I think, at least, because but if big players are moving, it's obviously going to affect Europe, and it's obviously going to affect the leagues and the teams. And that's a very interesting question. I did see some criticism on Twitter and other social media platforms for players who are leaving Europe and going to Saudi Arabia. And I don't know why people are criticizing them. Obviously, especially if they're players that have achieved everything. Like Karim Benzema doesn't need to prove anything. He is the Ballon d'Or winner last year. So like it doesn't make sense for me, because if you or me, like, or anyone, any human, were offered that much money after we have achieved our goals as a competitor, we would take that money without a doubt. And that's one of the reasons why I don't get it. And it's I think they should not be criticized. Let them do whatever they want, and they're gonna enjoy their time in Saudi, probably, with all the money they're making. My second winner, so I've kind of divided into three winners, three losers, try to keep it balanced. My second winner is Arsenal. Arsenal Football Club is my second winner here in the transfer window. They have come guns blazing. The Gunners have come out guns blazing. They got Declan Rice after the reports of Xhaka leaving them. I think Xhaka has now confirmed that he's left Arsenal. There are some rumors that Thomas Partey is going to leave Arsenal as well. So it kind of fits their philosophy of having young players, because Xhaka on the other side of 30, I think and then Partey is almost 30. Just one of, and obviously they have a hole in midfield. Thomas Partey was an important role to that change in Arsenal's attacking minded uh, strategies and attacking minded tactics. And if they lose Thomas Partey, he was a very good holding midfielder, very important holding midfielder for Arsenal. Whenever he got injured, Arsenal was kind of flustered, and them getting Declan Rice kind of stabilizes a lot of things for them. And he obviously went for 105 million pounds, and we have been knowing that he will go for a price range around that. And Arsenal tussling Manchester City, a treble winning, reigning champions of of three trophies. They just tussled them out and managed to outbid them, which is what I think made me think that Arsenal is not here to just be in the top four next season. They're trying to contend for the Premier League again, just like this season. And it's just interesting um, that they've also ended up getting Jurien Timber and Kai Havertz for decent money as well. Jurien Timber is a better bit of business for 35 million, and they get someone that's a bit of like a Ben White kind of an player who plays center back and right back, which is interesting because I think one of the reasons why they ended up bottling the league, if you want to say that, is because of the Saliba injury, and they do want some depth in that centre back position with quality players. Ben White can play it, but who's going to play right back? Tomiyasu is someone they didn't really trust at one point during the season, and that's one of the reasons why they brought in Jurien Timber. They're trying to bring in versatile players who can play multiple positions because they are in 4 competitions, and one of the competition is the Champions League. It's not an easy competition, and Premier League obviously is as competitive as it gets. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why them bringing in Jurien Timber is a good move for them. And also Kai Havertz is someone similar to what I just talked about. He's a versatile player who can play in multiple positions. Obviously initially, I didn't think that it was a good move because I've seen Kai Havertz play for Chelsea, and it's been not the best side. It's not been the best side for the last 3 seasons. Watch him play for Chelsea, but I know that he can play in multiple positions, and I think Arteta can probably have him fit in that system. That that's what I'm pretty sure Arsenal would like, and yeah, I think it's a really good bit of business from Arsenal. They have come out being very aggressive, and they needed to because they know that they're gonna be fighting against a machine in Manchester City, and they need bodies, and that's one of the reasons why they're trusting Mikel Arteta and going forward and solving their depth issues. My third winner, which is my last winner in this case, is Liverpool. Liverpool has had a midfield issue. Last year they had that issue of not having a creative midfielder who could be trustworthy, create chances. Their most chances came from Trent, and Salah just being Salah. He was incredible still last year, but um, they do require that midfield. I think Thiago was injured throughout the season. They are missing that Wijnaldum. Since Wijnaldum left them, they have been missing that. There's a void in Liverpool's midfield that they have been missing. They tried to fill it with Thiago, and Thiago has had a good season. The one season, I think it was the one, not this season, the season before, where they were trying to contend against Liverpool and came down to the wire on the last day. It was it was good, but then now this season they still had problems, and that's one of the reasons why they tried to solve these problems with the likes of McAllister and Sabosala. And again, Liverpool's business in the transfer window is as swift as it gets. It's the best kind of business. You won't hear a lot of rumors from Liverpool, like with linked to Liverpool, or for players linked to Liverpool, and it won't be a lot of rumors. There will be some rumors here and there, but as soon as there are rumors or reports that's coming out, okay, they are linked, and like a trustworthy source says that Liverpool's already done the transfer like a day or two later. They are very swift with the transfer window. They're very efficient. Them getting Sabosala is very, very good. I think they finally get a 10 who's someone that makes things happen in the final third. He's a very good creative midfielder, a very good number 10, the captain of the Hungary national team, and also was the captain of RB Leipzig, if I'm not wrong. So he's a very good player. 70 million is a price tag that does scare people, but I think he is worth that price tag. Yeah, I like it a lot. And McAllister, obviously, for that money is insane business for Liverpool, and they just keep doing it really well. They are really good at the transfer window, as always. Despite not getting Jude Bellingham, they ended up getting two really good players for around the same price. Like, so they got two really good midfielders for one midfielder in Jude Bellingham. Obviously, Jude Bellingham is generational, but at the same time, they try to fill that gap of Jude Bellingham with these two guys, and they are really good quality players as well. Talked about the winners, the 3 winners, and now I want to talk about the 3 losers. And one of those losers is this team right here. I'm not pointing right. That team right there. Yes, Chelsea. My club has been a loser for me. Maybe for not a lot of other fans, but they have been a loser for me in a lot of ways. The first way is obviously that we are losing a lot of players. Most of our players have gone to the Saudi Pro League. A lot of our players have gone to AC Milan. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has been confirmed by AC Milan, and also Pulisic has also gone to AC Milan. It's a lot. We're getting a decent amount of money, and we've also lost key players to rivals in Manchester United, as Mason Mount left us for United, and Havertz left us for Arsenal. So like it's as much as people would like to say it's Deadwood leaving, it's a good thing. I personally don't like it because it does cause problems in the team chemistry for me. We only have three players from that starting 11 that played in the Champions League final 2 years ago. It's been dismantled that quickly. So, yeah, that's one of my big reasons why I think we're a loser, because we're losing a lot of players. So, clearly, it's going to affect us as a team. My second reason is that there are a couple of players that we missed out on. Andre Onana specifically is my like one of the reasons why I think we are a loser in this transfer window. He's almost gone to United. He's like 1 foot into United already. And yeah, I wish that we had him, because losing Edouard Mendy kind of ruins our depth at the goalkeeper position. And if we got someone like Onana, who proved himself in the Champions League final, it would have been incredible. It would have been a great transfer for us. And obviously, the Moses Caicedo saga continues. I don't know when that goes on. It's been going on for the terms have been confirmed. It's just Brighton just wants as much money as they can, and that's how Brighton does business. But I just want Chelsea to get on with it and just be done with this. And yeah, that's one of the reasons. Those are the three reasons why I think Chelsea is a loser in this transfer window. But yeah, I don't want to rant too much about my club. As the loser specifically, I would have liked them to be the winner, but that didn't happen. My second loser is Dortmund. Yes, I am talking about not a Premier League team in this case. I'm not also talking about a non-Premier League team. I'm talking about a non-Premier League team in a negative light, but Dortmund is definitely a loser for me. Couple of reasons. Obviously, they did lose. They were very close to winning the Bundesliga last year. It was a very, very close game. They bottled it in the last day of the league to Bayern. Bayern didn't even have apparently the real trophy. They had a replica of the trophy lying in the Lions Arena, and Dortmund still lost. It was a very it was a very sad moment specifically for Royce, but that did happen. They lost Jude Bellingham, which was predictable. It was gonna happen. It was inevitable. If Real Madrid is interested in a player, usually the player is gone. So yeah, that happened. Them losing him is a big ask. They also lost Dawood to Brighton, so they have some holes in midfield. They didn't really fill it because they were trying to get Edson Alvarez from Ajax, but they pulled out of that race completely. So like, I don't know what their plans are for the future, because they were so close to contending for the Bundesliga, and them losing out these players and now losing out on even incoming transfers is key. It's key. And in terms of like how close they were to winning the league, that's one of the reasons why I think I have them as my loser, because they need some creative midfielder. The only one that they truly have is Julian Brandt, and with the wingers that they already have, Adeyemi, Mukoko, they're very good wingers, they're goal scorers, but they require some output from their midfielders. And that's one of the reasons why I have them as my losers, because they definitely have a lot of pieces that are missing now, after a very good season, and a season that they almost won the Bundesliga. My third loser is Kylian Mbappe and PSG. This saga of Kylian Mbappe and PSG is very reminiscent to the saga of Paul Pogba and Manchester United. It's very annoying. It just keeps going every season. Since last season, I think since 2 seasons ago, where Mbappe was called to where Real Madrid were interested in Mbappe and they wanted to get Mbappe. It's been going on forever, and it's very annoying to see it, because Mbappe is such an incredible player, and we want to see him succeed at the greatest stages of all, and Champions League is obviously one of them. But like, it just continues happening. He just now has made comments about PSG, and PSG is willing to sell him. I think they haven't placed a price tag on him, but I'm not gonna be surprised if his price tag is around 150 million. He's obviously that worth it. But it's just a very big loser for me, because this saga is so boring, and we just want Kylian Mbappe to play his football, and we don't want him to like be in a toxic kind of have toxic relationships with his teams. And I just hope that he finally figures it out and they figure it out, and yeah, they finally solve this beef, and like, I don't know like where he ends up going. I hope he comes in the Premier League and we have a Haaland versus Mbappe debate ended. But yeah, he's a loser, and PSG is definitely gonna be a loser if they lose Mbappe. So yeah, that's my winners and losers video, and for the transfer window so far. Please let me know what you think about my opinions, and obviously also leave the comment in the video on who you think are the winners and losers of the transfer window. Yeah, that's about it from me. I'll talk to you guys later in another video. Thank you.